So have you ever thought God took too long to answer something and you
Are we voting?
and but this is the thing, and you felt like you had to help him out?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like you knew you wanted something and you knew you were entitled to it or you knew you were going to get it, but yet it was taking too long. So
We're going to help Jesus.
yeah, you had to help Jesus.
Kind of how Sarah helped Abraham with Hagar. Like,
Absolutely, but not that deep though. But almost, really, because like I knew I was supposed to get married, but yet I didn't wait until the proper time to get married. So I eloped. I eloped. Nobody knew until after what, 34 years of being married.
Wow.
I told everybody then, but I knew it was God for me.
wait a minute.
I know.
Okay, so your parents didn't know that you.
No, not until after I
Well,
was
what did they
married for
think happened?
34
Oh, so they had a wedding for you, and they thought it was the real one.
Yes, they thought it was the real one. So I went to the justice of the peace.
You sneaky.
I hope my young adults are not listening to this right now.
You can't, that's against the law.
It was so wrong. I was 20.
Okay.
I was 20 and he was 21 or 22. He was 22. And, you know, we wanted to live right. We wanted to do things right. And he talked me
You wanted to
into
be doing
it.
the wild thing.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't want to have to keep
I get it.
repenting. I didn't want to have to keep repenting. And I was determined that I was going to do it right, you know?
Yeah.
And I knew he was called into ministry. I knew God had called him to pastor because he asked me before we got married, did I believe that I could be a pastor's wife? And I'm saying, sure. I mean, they don't do much. The one.
Oh my God.
You know, that's what I thought.
Right.
Exactly. So that's what I thought. And so I'm like, yeah, we could do this. But after getting married, the first 7 or 8 years of our relationship was so horrible. You know, you begin to look back over the process that you took to get in it. Like, God, did I miss you?
Right.
Wow.
Did I mess things up? And why is this suffering going on? Is it because I sinned? You know, because even though you didn't outright lie, deception is a lie. Because I deceived so many to make them believe that, okay, the wedding was the actual date. And so, you know, I had to go back and look over some things. And I see now that, okay, I did do it out of time, but God's desire is not for us to have to go through to get to. And a lot of times, I mean, I know some people teach like the suffering to victory. And I know we go through things because the Bible talks about, because we're here in this earth, we're going to have trials and tribulations. But that was something to me that I bought on myself.
Yes.
And I realized that after all of that, I just had to repent, get myself back on track, and now see the victory in all of my decisions. And so now I realize that being a pastor's wife is more than just sitting on the second row and smiling and, you know, doing church announcements. So it didn't mess up what God called me to do, but I felt like maybe I did.
Maybe there was something in the waiting for you.
It was
that
something,
that maybe didn't happen at that time.
So-
you had to learn that maybe.
Yeah, because
Now you want to go back.
Then I want to skip forward 34 years.
You said so you didn't say anything for 34 years. So
34 years.
So what made you finally
Yeah.
Well,
say something?
Mike actually said something. It was something because I always celebrated June the 8th. That was our wedding date. But April the 4th was our actual wedding date, the year prior.
Oh,
Okay.
a year before.
Yeah, the year prior. This is And I stayed at home with my mom. And we bought a little townhouse, and he stayed in the townhouse, you know, and nobody ever knew. I never spent the night there. I never stayed, you know, always came back home. But he would celebrate having Christmas in April. And it never dawned on me that he was celebrating our anniversary because I had become so deceived myself that June the 8th was our actual anniversary. I was like, oh, this is just so sweet. You're doing this. I was like, no, this was our actual anniversary. So he said, of course, a couple of years ago, that he wanted all of his credit. And so he invited my mom and my sisters and kids and everybody in the room on my Christmas in April. And he said, I have something that I want to share.
Ding, ding,
Oh
ding,
my
I have an
gosh.
announcement.
And I said, oh, are we doing that now? Is that what we're
Shine the light.
doing?
Wow.
And my mother looked at him and said, you nasty thing. But it was fun. Nobody,
Yeah.
it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't like, oh, look down on. But it was just interesting. He decided to tell everybody. I don't know. His parents never knew. Well, his mom never knew. So that's what we did. We just decided that we would tell everybody.
So if you had to do it now, would you have done that?
No. I would have waited. I would have been more prepared. I wasn't mentally prepared to be a wife. I wasn't. I didn't understand what it all meant, I came out of a home that was quite dysfunctional to me. I mean, being in it, I thought it was perfect. This is what marriage is, this is how we act. But I realized after I said I do, that wasn't a good way because I brought who I was into my relationship. And he's come from a different environment totally. He come from a Christian home. And so when we got together, we both were trying to break each other to make each other be what we saw coming up.
Right.
So I wasn't, ready for that. But now it's amazing how God can use my testimony to hold it up in his hand and say, this is what I intended for marriage to look like. And so I think it's a powerful testimony to be able to use your life and your story, to be a blessing to somebody else to say, don't do this or do this.
Hi everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe today and you'll never miss a new upload. Thanks for being a part of our Better Together community.